I'm Barry Godin and welcome back to BG Tips, episode 11. I can't do it on my hands anymore. I want to thank you guys so much for the support and the comments you've given me for the first 10. I've been giving you all the top tips I've got, but you know what? In your comments, you've given me more tips back than I think I've given you guys. So I've been buying things myself and like extra bits for my first aid kit, trying different coffee things out. So here's a few things I bought which is untested, literally just arrived in the post. But I want to show you guys what I've kind of got back from you. And yeah, hopefully you can all share these tips I've learned together. And then from then on, I promise we're going to be talking about bags and bike packing and how to pack your bags. And eventually I'll be out on the trails in the wilds once again and my happy place. So the first thing I actually bought was this. This is called the Juice number 2 and it's for doing a number 2. I realised when I was trying to talk about going to the loo in the wild, which I have to say there's brilliant websites out there, recommended depths, don't go too deep, don't go too shallow, always be away from water sources. You don't want it washing in and actually drinking that water later on. This can make you very, very ill and other people very ill. So you do need to dig a little hole. Genuine boffies is a shovel you can go and use, but this is to get me out of trouble in the wilds. The biggest thing is it weighs absolutely nothing. It weighs 17 grams. So that's definitely coming with me from now on. Even if it's to dig a hole, to put a tent peg in or a rock or something for the tent, I think that's a real winner. So that's coming with me on every trip now. So after trying to light my stove with a flint and failing dismally on film, I thought I'd treat myself to a better one. This is by Light My Fire, and this one is amazing. It really gives a great spark and lights the stove each time. It was a couple of quid. I do recommend it. Yeah, Light My Fire of Sweden is the brand, and it's called Firestarter. So that was a couple of quid, but will make a huge difference, and that'll be coming with me on my next journey. So in my tools and spares video, people gave me amazing comments below. There's one item that hasn't arrived yet, which is a fibre spoke, which means it's kind of like a piece of string. And you can actually change your spokes. You have every spoke length in your pack with you. And yeah, I can't wait to actually get one. This one, though, came a bit quicker than I expected. This was the elusive packet coming from China or wherever it's from. And it's really cool. It's a tiny little tool. It's got a tie lever built in. It's metal. You can store your chain links in there. But the best thing about it, it's got one of those chain link removers. So if you're using one of your spare links, they're quite hard to try and separate if you have to. So that means you can get it off there. It's got various spoke tools in it as well. But that's a spoke tool, different sizes. It's quite a nifty little device. And it actually even magnets together. So I'm quite impressed with that. It took a little while to come. That was about 10 quid off of eBay. eBay was the only place I could find you can buy these. But yeah, great little tool. So in my food video, I got loads of recommendations back. People's own recipes for various things and how to make their own porridges and the coffee ways of doing it. I learnt loads, and I think one day we should almost make a recipe book for bike packers, things you can pack in really, really small and travel with you, and be lovely to share that all together. Yes, I did go via, I think it was Lidl the other day, and I did find some new Ainsley Harriott. It was this Scottish style chicken and leek and hot and sour cup soup. So a new few flavours to try out. People have been recommending other, like, rather than my dehydrated meals, they found some great meals in Sainsbury's and Tesco's and Lidl's and stuff like that. So I'm going to be on the hunt to try and test out some new stuff in the next season. One that really interested me were these coffee bags. So I know this is not the only brand that does it, but this is Taylor's, which makes good coffee anyway. And I've never opened one. So I thought, why not give it a shot? And I'll be drinking this throughout the rest of this film. So it says, add to mug, boil water, stir and squeeze, and brew for 2 minutes. I can't promise it's going to be 2 minutes, but let's see how good it tastes. I'm sure on the trails it tastes better, but, ooh, okay, pretty big. They're quite small and easy to carry. I'm hoping this is going to make my coffee much, much better. And they're kind of like a big tea bag. I don't know quite how it works, but let's give it a whirl. So this would be the first live demo on film. And we'll give that a shot later on, and I'll let you know how it tastes. Cheers. So I never thought that foldable water bottles would be such a hot topic. Everyone's been asking me what brand was it, where did you get them from, and I didn't know there was that rare object out there, but I think I found them in the Cotswolds or a Snow and Rock or an outdoor shop. But they're by Source. I'm going to write it along the bottom here, and they're called Liquitainers. I've been looking online. They're actually quite hard to find nowadays. I'm sure there might be another brand we can find together out there. But someone also put a cheeky link on Sports Pursuits. They had a good sale. I bought myself 2 or 4, I think it was, they're coming. And yeah, they're brilliant. So I will please Google the link below. If you find someone to buy them, put them in the comments below because I'm sure everyone else would like to know about it as well. But they've been a hot topic. Thanks everyone for asking about them. And yeah, I'll be using them for years and I love them. And then we got to the electronics video, and I congratulate anybody who managed to get to the end of that one. It was an epically long one, but hopefully lots of top tips. Yes, my rusty steed was looking a bit sorry for itself in that film. That's the Polaroid travel tripod. I actually managed to find this on one of those lightning deals on Amazon. This one's by Photo Pro, Photopro. And I have to say, it's about a milligram lighter, similar style, a bit more plasticky. But I'm going to give it a whirl. It goes to the same height, packs down the same way. It's almost exactly the same tripod, just a different head bit. So yeah, maybe you want to try out. That was £15 I bought it for. So again, you haven't got to spend loads of money to get a decent tripod or one that's going to work for you. And hopefully we'll give that a whirl in the next film. And then I bought this thing. I've been looking at this for so many years. I saw Lee Craigie with one a few years ago, and I don't know why I never bought it. This is the world's thinnest plug, and it's by Mu, M-U. So that is a dual USB socket there. So you go flap flap, give it a little spin, and then you got your plug with 2 USBs on the back. That is genius. The space saving of that versus one of those big ones I was showing you before is going to be amazing, and it stops this thing poking into your bag. So that, I'm going to give that a whirl as well. So that's Mu, M-U. And it is called the world's thinnest USB charger. A couple of things from the Hygiene video, which I actually forgot this wasn't from the Hygiene video. This was from the tools video. This is dental floss. So this is a great top tip from quite a few of you out there. This is repair your tubeless tyres. And I did wonder why dental floss. That's kind of look it up and ask a few questions. It's so it doesn't degrade itself because it's not string, it's kind of waxed. Well, it's waxed coating. But it means you can actually sew stuff up, it's waterproof, and it will stay there. So I just need to find a needle that goes with that. That'll be going in my first aid kit or whatever kit, hygiene kit. And yeah, I'm now going to carry that with me from now on. That's going to get me out of a lot of troubles. And I think even repairing bags, it's super strong stuff. Someone mentioned Savalon, which I've now got in there. I found this little small tube, I believe where it was, boots or something. That's quite nice and smart. Another one which I can't actually find in the house at the moment, but it was to do with ticks. I didn't cover ticks, I completely forgot. Always carry a pair of tick tweezers or a tick card. They're those little horrible things that bury themselves into your skin. And I have met a lot of them actually. I had one in my belly button for about 3 days without noticing. They are gross and they can actually make you seriously, seriously ill. So when you pull them out, make sure you don't leave their head in because they bury their head in first and you often see their bum sticking out. You need to make sure you very gently get them out, and if they separate, you probably need to go and see someone very seriously quite quickly. But do check yourself over. In the last trip to Scotland, my girlfriend, we found hundreds of tiny ones everywhere and we got a bit paranoid and checked every night. So do make sure you carry something you can get them out with ease and safely as well. But do keep an eye on your skin afterwards if you know you've had one. If you get red circles, then yes, go and see someone urgently. I didn't mention that, so thank you for the guys who reminded me. The other one is about wild camping as well, which is to do with that tick thing. There's leave no trace rules, which I thought was too obvious in my head to mention, but I think when I go and do a video of wild camping, I'll also mention it as well. I'm a non-fire person. You take every bit of rubbish out with you. Another reason why I don't carry tins or glass or stuff like that, because you need to carry it back out again. So do protect our countryside. There's a lot of careless people out there at the moment who are camping, not being very careful, and they're going to make it horrible for the rest of us. So leave no trace. Take everything away with you. Try and don't light fires because you're going to be leaving a scar or damaging the landscape. So please just stay safe out there and we can all be happy while camping. And the last thing I just happened to find was a tiny little sun cream, which I thought was quite smart and quite small. Yes, factor 30. I'm a white person who's going to get burns very quickly. So do carry some nice sun cream with you. And I thought maybe now I can allow to go out and the sun's out, but it's been raining for the past month. So I haven't needed this at all. But one day I'll need it. I promise. I'll need it when I go out on a sunny bikepacking trip. Then the cooking video where we talked about my cook set and the way it broke down. And everyone then went, what pot is that? And Alp Kit, sadly, was out of stock. It's an Alp Kit Mighty Mug 650. And that's the little chap there. But then everyone kept putting really interesting links underneath about a brand which is online. And I thought I'd purchase one. Give it a whirl. And also I might need one in the future as a second cooking set. And this brand is called Linda. I should have looked this up before I got on this film. It's Lixada. Lixada. I'll put it down here so you can see it. This is titanium. This was £24, which I think is very similar to the Alp Kit one, but it's actually identical size, same diameter, and I was also quite impressed. It might be a little bit lower, which is going to be even more space saving. But just to prove it, that goes in there. Then you've got the stove, you've got your sporks in there, and then you've got your lighter, or my new flint. Let's actually forget that now. Let's get this chap in here. Woo! He then fits in there. He might even fit in that. Anyway, I'll sort that out later. So that all does fit in there nice and neatly. We did have a bit of discussion about the Sea to Summit. It's either the X cup or the X mug. I believe this is the X mug. So if you buy the X cup, it won't fit on the top of your stove. Oh, but the new one does. It goes a bit lower actually, but it still works. So I've only just received it today. Yeah, that still works, and that still works in there. But I've got the lid, so I might use the lid from now on, but maybe not. I might just stick to my cups. So that's going to be try and tested again. It's a titanium cup, so it should be very similar. But yeah, quite nicely built actually. I have to give them that. So another brand, if Alp Kits run out of stock, then maybe look for this brand online, Lixada. I was just tidying up and we were talking about cooking. I realised my coffee's been actually brewing for quite a considerable amount of time. So I might give it a whirl. So we're going to take that out of there. Not sure about the squeezing. It's probably had a bit too much juice in that. Lob that in there. Oh, it's not bad. This is Taylor's Hot Lava Java roast number 6. That's pretty good actually. Yeah, recommended, and we'll also try it out on the trails. But yeah, that's a recommended coffee. That actually that's probably the best coffee I've had. Oh yeah, fully recommend a coffee bag. Cheers. But not to fear, Alp Kit did very well out of me recently. They had a bit of an offer going. I think it was 15% off their whole website, and so I purchased a few items. I got a new big bag because, and we'll talk about bags very shortly. This accessory bag I place on my bike just by the stem at the front. Oh, which I place just by the stem at the front here. And that's my accessory bag, and that gets my phone, my wallet, my keys, my microphone, everything goes in that. But it's quite big, and I think it's got bigger than my last one, so that's a real winner. But that came in partnership with these, and this is actually what I purchased particularly. That just came part of the cockpit bundle. These are an amazing improvement, I believe. These are my called stem cells, and this fits either side of my stem at the front. And this is where my cooking set fits. That's the first one I ever had, and I've had it for many years. And that cooking set, that's my whole cooking set, as you know before. That fits in there with a bit of a wiggle, but quite happily fits in. Well, not now though, is it? Quite happily fits in there, and that's where it's always been. Then they released a new one, so I thought this one's looking a bit tatty, and I got this one, and it was a bit too snug. It's really quite painfully snug in there, and so I thought I can't use it. So I bought 2 of those at the time, so I run one new one side and one old one the other side to carry my cooking set, which is a bit silly. And this has been a bit of a pain because every time you pull it and it's tight, it kind of pings out, and you're like, oh, I need to re-thread it back on. So that was a bit annoying, but they have now improved them. They've increased the capacity by a load. So that was the old one, and that's the new one. Where am I going to strap this to? I'm going to show you in the next few videos. I have a harness on my bike which holds the front bag on. This can actually then Velcro onto that harness, and the whole thing's going to stop jiggling around. But that extra volume looks pretty impressive. because in the front I do try and store 2 inner tubes in the front and the bottom of my cooking set, which I can get in one of that small one before. But this one here, get that in there. It's easy when it's on the bike. Slide it in, wiggle, 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 wiggle. And they've also got rid of the annoying... oh, come on. There we are. He's in. So that's the cooking set on the top where I normally store it. That then has a great fastener in there now, which is really quite clever. Really impressed with that. But look at all this spare space at the bottom. Think of the things I can store in there. I can get my chorizo sausage, my 2 inner tubes, and probably spare change of clothing in the bottom. And I've got 2 of them. Even better. So, and that's my electronics one, and that should give me extra capacity to carry more batteries. But you know what? I'm impressed with these. That's great, and they do fit the stove now. A lot snug, a lot more comfortable in there. And they even said it on their website that they now fit. So I think they realised that that was a bit of a bum note. The fact that this didn't fit in there very nicely. So yeah, so lots of new bags to try on that. I also got a load more dry bags, and what's cool is they've actually changed the logo and the pattern and the colours, which different colours in dry bags is so useful. And they've also changed the material. So I actually haven't even opened these. They're quite a lot thinner, and they've changed the literage. They're now odd numbers, but before they were even. Oh no, that's right. So they're 3, 6, and then 12. Whereas before there were 2, 4, and 8, and then onwards. Which I have to say, maybe the extra literage could be quite nice, a bit easier to roll up. These are to be tested, and they look quite smart. And I have to say, different colours means you can organise yourselves better. You can understand what's in each bag. So I'm quite happy with those. And these are the Outkit Airlock. So I said in the video before, try and stay smaller bags as possible. So my favourites were the 2 and the 4 litre. But this is now the 3 and the 6, so I'm interested to see how they pack in. I don't necessarily want to put more in them. I just want to be able to roll them up better. They might be a little bit more waterproof than they were before. Outkit then also got me buying some more tent pegs. These look quite like my MSR ones, a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier, but I'm hopefully going to go out with the tarp a little bit more and play around with that setup, and these would be great for that. They've got a good toggle on that, and I quite like this the peg design, which is the same as the MSR one. And they were a few quid, so that's quite smart. They also got me buying this, and this is this was part of a sleeping bundle set. Let me just clear a little bit of space in the disaster here, and it came in this waterproof backpack. I think the whole kit was £100 and something. That's not very good, is it? Have a look on their website, but I think with my 15% off, I did quite well. And I got a sleeping bag in it. I got another dry bag. This one's a 12 litre one, and then another jazzy colour, which is great to put your sleeping bag in one. So that's probably what I've got this for. So rather than storing 12 litres worth of stuff in it, oh, a nice green. But that will fit very nicely a sleeping bag in to keep it dry. And in the bottom, the reason why I bought the sleeping bundle is I needed another air mat. There might be a trip hopefully coming up with us 3 of us going. The other person has no kit at all, and I have a lot of bags and spare bits, but I just didn't have another air mat, which is useful for me. That's the Numo again, another great priced object. Can't recommend it enough. Does actually come with a puncture repair kit as well. That's the Numo, which is amazing. Can't say enough about it. The waterproof backpack was kind of like a freebie for me, but it's pretty cool to have. It's actually well built. Nice sturdy back panel. I never had that's a Godin 25 litres. And this sleeping bag, it is a cheaper sleeping bag, synthetic down, so it's got Primaloft in it. And Primaloft we were talking about before, it stays warm when wet, and it's really quite good because it's synthetic down, but works really, really well. It's not at the highest temperature rate, or the lowest temperature rating. It's not the highest, but it does. It looks quite big, and I was quite, oh my god, that's enormous. But when you actually compress it a bit, it does become quite a lot smaller. So I'm quite interested. I'm not going to use this myself, but it's great to lend to friends and just have a spare bag in case I need it. And for all those sleepovers we have. Yeah, so that's quite smart. And it's called the Mountain Ghost 140. Synthetic Cirrus sleeping bag. Go nice places, do nice things. Buy Outkit. So that's going to be a demo. I'm definitely going to take it out on a trip myself to kind of give you a bit of a review on it, and yeah, should be quite smart. So that's what Outkit got out of me. So they're all the goodies you guys have made me buy. But thank you so much for your comments. Please keep commenting below. Other people look at those comments because then you'll get more top tips than I'm giving out as well. There's so much wealth of experience and knowledge out there, and let's just all help each other and get out there. So until next time, which I promise won't be as long as it has been since the last video, happy adventuring and ciao for now.